Peace and blessings, everyone. It's your favorite truth seeker, truth teller, and brother, Wise Champion, back with another video. And today I'd like to discuss a problem that I see arising in society, and that is the lack of the ability or the lack of willingness for people to socially interact anymore face to face, and how we can not interact with each other face to face, but we can find a way to argue and hate each other online for opposing views. I'm the type of person that when I go places, I make a concerted effort to talk to people. If I go to the doctors, I'm talking to all the doctors and nurses and the people that at the front desk and just anybody I see I come in close quarters with. I'm just talking to them, interacting with people. That's something I really enjoy doing. Just seeing how people are. And you never know when someone is really, down or a lot of people are socially isolated like myself. And the only interaction they're going to get really in a social aspect is that conversation that you may have with them that day. And you can see how people perk up when you talk to them. And I mean, I talk to everybody. You can be white, black, young, old, male, female. It doesn't matter. Disabled. Doesn't matter. I just like talking to people, babies. I mean, everyone. I want to see how people are doing. I want to break the mold of people not being able to interact with each other because that is a cornerstone of a healthy society is communication. And so, it's a concerted effort I see is going on to draw a further divide between white and black people. I find a lot of times I'll be out and about and I'll see like white people or something like that. And a lot of them, they love talking to me. Give me advice on things they've seen or a product I'm about to buy or telling me about something interesting that happened in their life. Or I go to stores, like I go to Walmart, like all these Walmarts I go to like 4 or 5 different Walmarts. And all these different Walmarts I go to, I know the people that work in these stores because I'm always coming through there talking to them, joking with them, laughing, just having a good time. Life is too stressful as it is not to just enjoy the little small things at times, little simple things. And I see it's a huge problem with our children because many of them do not know how to interact with each other at all. With the advent of social media and electronics, it's taken away their ability to go outside and meet each other on a level, to meet each other in a common area. And, you don't have that screen to cover up the silence, whereas before, you know, I remember being on the bus and in school and stuff like that. They had to force us to be quiet, like because that's what we loved when I can't wait to see such and such, so we can talk about this, we can laugh about that, or the joking session. We call them hacking. The joking sessions we used to have. These kids don't even do that anymore. They're like they don't know how to interact. Like with my son, like when he's over here, it'll be a beautiful day outside. And I started doing this probably about he's turned 14, so probably about 7, 8 years ago. I started putting them out. Like, yo, dude, you're not gonna sit in the house and just be up on these electronics all day. It's a beautiful day outside. Go outside, interact, especially for boys. I know a lot of single mothers want to keep their sons up under them, but that's not good for them because what's happening is you keep these boys up under you, and then when they turn 18 years old, they're released out in the world and have zero social skills. That's why a big reason why you have a lot of these kids that don't know how to problem solve or have conflict resolution because they didn't spend all their time under their mother or inside playing on electronics, and that's not a good idea. It's just not. A lot of people you can disagree with me all you want, but it's just a fact. You know, like we need to get back to personable relationships. Like I said, I go places, I speak to people. All my doctors. I got my doctor's personal phone numbers, many of them. I had to call their cell phones because I sit down and have these conversations with the people. I ask them about the profession. I ask them about what sports teams they like. I talk to them about things. This is how you learn things. You'd be surprised at things I've learned from people that were just perfect strangers. How I see people It's some people that I used to go to certain stores that I don't frequent anymore, and then I'll see them in other stores, and they'll remember me, and we'll be sitting out chopping it up from there, give each other dap, whatever it may be. And so I noticed all of this change or got reinforced with COVID. Because when COVID came around, it convinced everybody that you could interact with each other via Zoom, and that personal interaction was gone. Nobody wants to be around anybody anymore for fear of contact or spreading COVID. But what happens is when you have these Zoom meetings or your little phone calls, your video phone calls, whatever it may be, the energy is not transferred. The energy is being blocked by that screen. Whereas when you come in close contact with people, you have energy transference. But you have to be careful because there are a lot of vampires. But I remember one day I was in college and I was stressed out about something. And I was sitting on the bench, and I guess a female friend of mine, she noticed that I was a little stressed out. And she came up to me, started talking to me, started rubbing me on my back and telling me, everything's going to be good. And I felt all that negative energy leave out of me and go into her head. That's the power of human connection. We can build each other up when we need building each other up. We can give each other positive messages. I give people positive messages, no matter how bad I'm feeling. And for some reason, that helps me because I perk up. Because I start digging into the energy that I need to make me feel better just by giving these people positive messages. But that goes along with being able to socially interact with each other. But one thing that we can do is we can get online and we can have opposing views and start hating each other because of opposing views. When did that happen? As a 5%er, we used to sit down, and one of the things that we used to do is sit in a circle and build with each other all daggone night. And it got heated, really heated. It never got anywhere. Well, sometimes things might have got a little heated, but we never had afterwards. It was just all love. Nowadays, we can be typing with each other on a phone, on a computer, and because we have opposing views, all of a sudden we hate each other. Liberals hate conservatives. Conservatives hate liberals. Instead of finding a common ground, we're focused on what we disagree on. And if I disagree with you and you disagree with me, all of a sudden we have to hate each other. We have to start hurling insults. This is a brother I've known for nearly 40 years. Come up together, play football. He was influential in me becoming 5%. But because we have opposing views, now all of a sudden we don't rock with each other no more. Well, I pieced that up last time we saw each other. But I'm like, that's foolish. Like, why can't I just have my view? Why do I have to view things the way you view it? Why do you have to view things the way I view it? How about you give your information, I give my information, we take the best part and keep it moving. It doesn't need to be a battle or a war. We need to get back to having because social interactions. Because what's happening is we are not advancing as a people. And when I say as a people, I mean the human race. Because we become disconnected from each other and more connected with a beast. For all you Christians, that's the mark of the beast. That's the beast right there, is the electronics. That's what it's all intertwined with. So what are we doing? I noticed that with COVID, before COVID, I would see people on a beautiful day, everybody riding with their windows down and just enjoying the breeze, a nice day, 75 degrees, 77 degrees, nice wind, the sun is out. Now, no matter what the temperature is, everybody got their windows rolled up. At least 75 to 80% of people ride around their windows rolled up, no matter what the temperature is, cutting off the connections of human beings amongst each other. This is a problem. Because if you notice and you study Willie Lynch, which was what was used to enslave black people during slavery, this was the tool that they used in order to keep the slaves in line. And now they're implementing it across the entire society. Because as long as we're sitting there fighting each other, there's no way we can figure out to be free. We're busy fighting each other about what political candidate like. Neither one of them will even spit on us when we're on fire, on either side. Meanwhile, they're putting flock cameras up and watching everything that we daggone do. Every move we make and every sentence we take, everything we buy, all the food we consume, whatever it may be. And they utilize it as a tool against us. Meanwhile, we're worried about the most petty things. We'll never be free as a society as long as we conduct ourselves like that. We need to start teaching our children to interact with each other and teaching them how to learn interpersonal skills, how to have conflict resolution, and how not to be so emotional, especially the boys. Did we have crime and violence when I was these kids' age? Yeah, absolutely we did. Did we have these kids running up in places, shooting indiscriminately? We had 3 pop-up events out here in the area I live in in the springtime. And then 3 pop-up events, 15 people got shot. What is going on? We have to do better as a people. We have to do better as parents. And I'm gonna tell you like this: as a Gen Xer, this is our fault. This is our fault because we should have done better as parents. And the crazy thing about it is the way society is set up now, to whereas when my parents were coming up, a single parent or a single income could run a household, and then one parent was always there to be able to interact with the children. Now you have both parents out the house, and when they come home, they have to come and interact with the children. So now they give you the electronics, which are raising the children instead of you, and it's caused an epidemic. That's the epidemic. The lack of being able to deal with other human beings, epidemic, because human beings are by nature social creatures. And a lot of people are suffering because they do not have social interaction in their life. That's why a lot of people are off of themselves. And 1000% is. So we have to get back to the art of coming together, loving each other, communicating with each other, and connecting with each other. And this is something that I feel that we should all take a concerted effort to do. When you're out and about, you see somebody, look you in the eye, say hello. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? You see somebody that needs help, you're able to help them. I promise you, slowly but surely, society will start to get a lot better. And people will start to see that they have more in common than they have less in common. And that one little silly issue that you see with maybe with the government or with whatever issue they put in front of our face and tell us we need to be debating about now, that we have a lot more in common than we do not in common. And again, I am your brother, Wise Champion. And if you found any value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave some comments. And like I've been saying, I would like to do collaborations with these videos and sit down and have some more discussions, and let's talk about solutions that we could make to make our society better, because the path that we're going down right now is not good at all. The division and then the way that the government is closing in on us and making it a society of where we're going to be controlled. And with that, I leave with love, peace, and happiness.